Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Oracle Cloud Talk. My name is David Hicks, Vice President of Business Development for the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure ISV team, and I'm actually joined today by Piush from Altair. I'm very happy, Piush, that you actually joined me today. We do a lot of these types of activities where we share the stories of how we work together with our customers. More importantly, partners like yourselves, really talk about the benefits of OCI. And as I always say, you guys tell the story so much better than we can, given it's a real world example of how we've worked together. Maybe before we get started, Piush, you could maybe introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Altair for those of us that don't already know you.
Well, first, Dave, thanks for having me on this talk. It's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Piush Patel. I am the Senior Vice President for Strategic Partnerships at Altair, and I am responsible, my team is responsible for managing the relationships with great partners like Oracle. So a little bit about Altair. We are a global leader in computational science. We provide software and cloud solutions in simulation, high performance computing, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. We were founded in 1985 by Jim Scapa, who's still running the company. After being private for 33 years, Jim decided to take us public at the end of 2017. And now that we're public, I can share with you that our annual revenues in our last fiscal year was about 530 million. And that's spread roughly across the major geos, super regions, Americas, APAC, and EMEA. So we're very global. We have 86 offices in 25 countries, and we have 3,000 passionate employees working for us. Our vision is to transform enterprise decision-making by leveraging the convergence of simulation, high-performance computing, and artificial intelligence. We have a very broad software portfolio consistent of over 150 different Altair and partner applications, all powered by a common licensing scheme. Any product that is highly engineered can take advantage of one or more of Altair's solutions. As an example, our structural analysis software and computational fluid dynamics applications are used to simulate car crashes and virtual wind tunnels. And what this does is it reduces the need for costly physical prototypes. So instead of creating these costly physical prototypes, you can actually simulate things on a computer, and this leads to faster times to final production for our customers.
Great, thanks for that. I always love working with you guys and seeing some of these, demos and these prototypes that you build. They're, very complex, very exciting, and in a lot of cases, I think provides, just great demos of what actually cloud can do, in a very interesting, way. With that, though, I imagine that it's got to be very kind of complex and, compute intensive to do some of this. Could maybe tell us a little bit about, your cloud journey, with Oracle, and how you went about that from the cloud and the OCI perspective.
Yeah, so we began exploring clouds very early. I believe we were actually one of the first ISVs in our space to engage with Oracle. Our journey in OCI has provided some key learnings, I think, for both organizations. And we really appreciate the partnership and the opportunity to shape OCI's roadmap going forward. Our stuff is very computationally intensive. When we started looking at at the cloud infrastructure out there, we discovered that most were optimized for business applications and business kind of workloads. OCI's bare metal infrastructure was something that was pretty unique and felt tailored for the computational intensive needs that we have with your floating point optimized shapes, your high-speed interconnect, and all this comes with higher end security by default because you are using bare metal infrastructure. There are a couple ways that Altair leverages clouds. The first is Altair is a customer of OCI. We're trying not to grow our data center with all the expense and complexities that entails. Instead of kind of investing in our data center, our teams are trying to rely more on cloud infrastructure more and more for their daily work. A perfect example of this is our computational fluid dynamics teams, which uses NVIDIA's A100 and V100 GPUs on OCI. This helps us reduce the need to run on costly on-premise hardware, which rapidly becomes obsolete. The second way we're leveraging clouds is that we're making our applications available to use on OCI by our end customers under both a bring your own license model and a SaaS model. Our SaaS offering really provides customers a simplified and instant way to access our applications. Finally, I want to mention that we're currently taking advantage of Oracle's pilot to production program for several additional use cases and workloads.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, it's been a great journey. What we've done together, as you mentioned, right, for some of those early, POC or pilots all the way through to production, and appreciate, you kind of calling out some of the differences in OCI around things like our bare metal, solutions, our egress flexibility, as well as, some of our partnerships with, with people like, NVIDIA. Out of that, and I think you kind of started to get into it, both from, the standpoint of, just cloud in general, but what are some of the benefits that you're actually seeing, in working with OCI as a result?
Well, first is the bare metal infrastructure. That's a great benefit for us because it gives us the same level of performance and scalability as on-premise HPC systems. And we confirmed this with our testing and benchmarking that we've done together. And we know we can scale on demand and are not restricted by kind of fixed infrastructure. We also benefit from some of the resources, training, and support that Oracle provides. Oracle has some very excellent architects and solution experts, and they work closely with our DevOps and product teams, which saves us resources and reduces our time to market. Additionally, the Azure to OCI gateway has proved beneficial for blended solutions and access to customer data that cannot be readily moved.
Great, no, and thanks for that. Appreciate that. This is probably, to me, the $1 million question, though, right? Because we're great partners, we work together. But how is this actually translating for your customers? What are they actually, kind of seeing and talking about the benefits of our collaboration?
Well, our customers are trying to solve some of the world's toughest and most complex problems. They're using our software to make their products faster, better, and smarter. OCI offers several benefits to our mutual customers, which helps them accomplish it. It all starts with price, performance, and scalability. Customers can scale on demand from a single node to hundreds of nodes, all while getting the same level of performance as on-prem hardware. Customers can additionally reduce their ongoing costs because their IT administration and support can be reduced. And finally, from our perspective, when we are providing a SaaS offering, we can help our customers accelerate time to revenue because we can much more rapidly provision environments for them.
Yeah, no, and thanks for that. I know we've got pretty much customers, together in every continent of the world, and it's exciting to see kind of that expansion together. Maybe we shift a little bit from maybe some of the technology and that into just kind of the partnering side, if you don't mind, Piush. What would you kind of say your experience has been, in working with and partnering with Oracle, from that side of things?
Our overall experience has been quite positive, David. Oracle is a highly collaborative partner. We work closely on both the business and the technical sides. We found Oracle to be very customer-centric. They're focused on delivering joint value together with Altair. One data point I could share is that by moving our engineering simulation workloads from a competitive cloud to OCI's HPC service, we've already achieved about a 20% cost savings.
No, that is awesome, and thanks for that. We kind of joke about it that we need to do our best work, when we actually close the deal, and it's always rewarding to hear that we're actually delivering and living up to that. One of the benefits that we have, just based, on the synergies of our products, our sales teams and everything else as well, is really our opportunity to go to market, as well. Maybe you can tell a little bit about, the go-to-market efforts and how you're seeing those with Oracle.
Oracle's been fantastic in terms of go-to-market activities, David. We work closely with Oracle to communicate our solutions to the market, and I can give you some examples. We have a presence on each other's corporate websites. We participate in each other's company events and user groups. In fact, Oracle often sponsors some of Altairs events. We jointly participate in industry conferences, for example, like the supercomputing shows that happen in Europe and in the US in the fall. We do joint benchmarking activities to ensure Altairs applications perform well on OCI. From that, we create marketing collateral like case studies, videos, blogs, webinars, etc. And finally, we do training and sales enablement activities for respective sales teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of the key one is us also, being able to work together out there in the field, for our joint customers and prospects, as well. Here's always a good one as well. What kind of advice, or input would you give people that are actually looking at OCI as a platform to kind of help them with, with that opportunity themselves?
I would advise them to really try to leverage the OCI partnership. There's some really great resources within the Oracle team that have helped Altair move faster in architecting solutions, and they can take advantage of the same. I would encourage ISVs to take advantage of OCI's rich security and monitoring solutions. Since OCI is a second generation cloud, many of the defaults are also more sensible for typical platform needs. And finally, I asked my IT team this, and they told me OCI has very strong Terraform support, and that helps it make it easier to migrate from another cloud.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for that. And we know that's important for a lot of folks to kind of have that multi-cloud support. So maybe before we wrap, Piush, let me be a little bit more open-ended just to make sure that, we kind of talked about everything that was on your mind. Anything else that, you would add for our audience that's watching today?
Yes, David. I would like to mention that we've partnered together on a program designed to simplify and democratize HPC for startups in the engineering and CA space. Via this program, startups who are accepted into it can get benefits for up to 2 years. And the benefits includes free cloud credits and deeply discounted access to both Altair software and OCI infrastructure. Additionally, they can get hands-on resources and training and support from us. I like to end by noting that Altair has ongoing efforts to make our business, engineering, and scientific software suites cloud-first products. Many of these applications have heritages up to 30 years. So it's really a great opportunity for us to jointly revisit and leverage OCI's capabilities.
And thank you, Piush, for that. I appreciate it. Especially love talking that startup angle where we're really highlighting what we're doing for the next generation of companies, support our joint customers beyond what we're already doing ourselves today. And again, always great to see you and appreciate the time you've invested here with us.
I hope to do it in person next time. It's been too long.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. With that, if there's more information that you would like, go to isv.oracle.com and you can actually see information on other partners as well, the benefits that they've seen technically and go to market. And more important, you can learn more about OCI and some of the technical security and performance advantages that we've talked today, as well as some of that cost and price performance that Piush alluded to as well. I want to thank everybody for your time. And until our next Cloud Talk, hope everybody stays well and look forward to being with you again in the future. Thank you.